Coming up on the Sports Desk, El Camino College in Bakersfield put up over 900 yards of total offense. See who came up with the longest yard in this back-and-forth slugfest. Plus, many people can run, but who can run 15,840 feet the fastest? Watch local cross-country athletes race to the finish line at this year's SouthBay meet. We've got a little bit of that and a little bit of this coming at you right about now. Welcome to the Sports Desk. I'm your host, Byron Newsome. And what do you get when you combine Byron plus Newsome plus TV? Me on the internet. I'm on Twitter and Instagram. That's at Byron Newsome TV. Follow me now and see me later as we keep you posted to all that's going on in the Torrance area. Now, if you watch sports like I do, you probably saw some amazing things happen on the football field recently. For example, Atlanta Falcons receiver Julio Jones posted the 6th 300-yard game in NFL history against the Carolina Panthers. Juwan Jennings catches a Hail Mary pass to help Tennessee beat the Georgia Bulldogs as time expired. And little Jalen Anderson slices through the competition as he runs for 4 touchdowns, helping his team to victory. I know what you're thinking. You haven't heard of Jalen Anderson. Well, he plays youth flag football. And as Sam Vargas reports, the little Jalens of today will become the Julios and Juwans of tomorrow.
With all the focus and attention on both high school and college football, it's nice to take a step back every once in a while to see where some of these kids got their start. And one of those places is right here at the Torrance Youth Flag Football League. And if you ask any of these players or parents, there's nowhere else they'd rather spend their Saturday mornings.
I think it's run as good as any athletic program that I'm a part of. I do programs throughout the South Bay here in all cities, and I think this is a top-of-the-line class act all the way through. That's why I bring my child back every year.
The Youth League has been a staple in the Torrance community for over 20 years. Its primary goal is to introduce kids to the game as well as teach them the fundamentals of the sport.
Mostly everybody out here is a volunteer dad or some type of coach, and we just try and teach them the fundamentals of football. Obviously, the whole game, offense, defense, special teams, in the short amount of time that we have, and just do the best we can, and most importantly, just try and have fun with them.
Some communities don't have this, but it's an absolute blessing for Torrance to have this incredible field. The blessing is having this field first off, and then having the great coaches and the great referees and the league just to organize everything. It brings the community together. You can see the parents on the sidelines having fun, cheering on, having a great time for everybody.
The league is like a family, with many coaches returning year after year. They take pride in watching their kids grow from little tykes all the way to high school.
So our program starts at kindergarten, goes all the way to 8th grade, and you see a lot of them that have played year after year. They stay with those coaches, so those coaches follow those kids all the way up until they're done in middle school, until they kind of leave our little nest and go to high school and play. So it's nice to see and watch them grow and learn, and these coaches build relationships with these kids. It's pretty amazing.
We have 6 guys that so far have been in this team since day one. And we continue to to progress together. So where we started, where we are now, is a huge difference. And that's what we want to see. We want to see that progression, go in that positive direction there. So it's good.
It's a wonderful learning environment that teaches the children several life lessons, such as the importance of teamwork and sportsmanship.
I think it starts with sportsmanship. I think it starts with building a team nature, and then just having a lot of fun. I think these kids approach football very skeptically at first, but then once they exhibit the team building of football, I think they get so much out of it that they can use in life and throughout life.
They teach me a lot of stuff because the first year I didn't really know much, and they taught me a lot. And since I've been playing them for a long time, I've really recognized, know them a lot, and I like them now.
Relationships and lessons they can take with them the rest of their lives. I'm Sam Vargas, reporting for the Sports Desk.
Hey, thanks for that, Sam. And kids, if you want to sign up for youth football next year or basketball, which signs up next week, tell your parents to pick up their phones right now. All they have to do is email, call, or go to the website, and your dreams of playing sports can begin next week. Now, once kids start playing sports, they will start to see how they compare to other kids their age. Based on how they perform will determine what position they play. Now, the ones that can catch might play receiver. The ones that can throw might play quarterback. And the ones that can run really fast, they might play running back. Well, by the time they get to high school, they are skilled and ready to showcase their talents in those positions. And the Bishop Montgomery Knights are ready to showcase their talents against the St. Genevieve Valiants. Bryce Matthews, standout defender, tight end, receiver, sitting this one out. It's homecoming for Bishop. Offensive lineman Matthew Smith went from the field to the homecoming court, taking pictures and walking down the rug. Down 7-0 in the first quarter. Bad snap over Anthony Smets. Darius Gaines recovers, and Desmond Gates is there for the tackle. He had 7 tackles on the night. Second quarter, St. Genevieve punts. Now, Cody Coleman was going to catch it. I got it. It slipped through my hands, and he didn't get it. And Braxton Taylor recovers at St. Genevieve with great field position. Anthony Smets moves around in the pocket. He finds Zachariah Muhammad. Now, Muhammad starts on one side of the field. He runs all the way to the other side of the field, and then he cuts back again to the other side of the field. Hey, 3 catches for 50 yards for Muhammad. They're deep in Bishop Montgomery territory. Next play, though, Smets looking for Muhammad again for a touchdown, but it is Hamilton Kidd who is there for the interception. Keeps him from scoring and gives his team the ball. Now, they are on offense. Daniel Schubert, the quarterback, wants to check the defense out to make sure he knows, but the center, he snapped the ball when he wasn't looking. Bishop recovers it in the end zone. It is a safety. Bishop trails 9-0 in the second quarter. After the half, Daniel Schubert gets his arm warm. He knows he's going to have to use it in this second half. And Coach Hodgkiss, okay, fellas, look, don't worry, we can do this. Let's do what we know. Schubert to Bernard Amofa. I'm on a new level inside St. Genevieve's territory. Amofa had 3 catches for 61 yards, no touchdowns in this game. This is the first game of the year he didn't have a touchdown. Schubert to Cody Coleman. Schubert was 8 for 31 in this game, 82 yards, his lowest output of the year. The Valiants get the ball back. Smets to Elijah Ebb. Bishop is not able to come back in this one, losing by a score of 23-6. Bishop, they lose this one. Their offense didn't do too well, 125 yards altogether. Daniel Schubert scored on a 2-yard run, giving Bishop their only points of the game. The Knights have one more at home before heading on the road for 3 consecutive games. All of those games are in league play. Now, the South High Spartans are looking to get all the kinks out before they start league play. They took on an El Segundo team that is averaging over 35 points a game and looking to stay unbeaten. And here is why they are still unbeaten. El Segundo led 31-0 at the half, and South was only able to get 2 first downs in the game as they lose this one big. Reza Amrasi recovered a fumble and ran it back. 59 yards for South, their only points of the game. Now, still looking for their first win of the season, the Torrance Tartars play host to Lawndale. The Cardinals have lost 3 in a row. The Tartars have lost 4 in a row. Whose losing streak ends tonight? Lawndale has given up 115 points in the last 3 games, all losses. Can the Tartars pick up their first win of the season? Torrance trailing 28-10 in the third quarter. Jalen Hamler connects with Hunter Williams. Lawndale is up 35-10. Now the Tartars are moving the ball on this next possession. Receiver Nathan Gottlieb. Playing quarterback for injured Ryan Carroll finds Ryan Kirkwood inside Lawndale's 10-yard line, but they lose the ball on the fumble a few plays later, and then it is quarterback Jalen Hamler for Lawndale. He makes them pay 46 yards, looking like Lamar Jackson from Louisville. 46 yards, 42-10, the Cardinals lead. Coach Rock Hollis and his staff are trying to figure out what they can do. Jalen Hamler again, he finds a wide open Keandre Whitmore. 46 yards again, 49-10, Lawndale. No quitting the Tartars though. Eric Suarez takes the ball, makes a few people miss, follows his blockers. Suarez and Ethan Myers both had 57 yards rushing apiece for Torrance, but the Cardinals run away with this one, beating Torrance 56-10. The Tartars have given up over 45 points a game in 5 contests this year. Now, Torrance is going to have to step up on defense and get their offense going if they want to turn things around before the season is over. And as Ana Dominguez reports, the Tartars are confident they can do just that.
The Torrance Tartars have yet to win a game this season, and to make matters worse, their starting quarterback Ryan Carroll suffered a concussion in last week's game and won't be playing against the Cardinals. Now his team hopes to get back in the game with their backup quarterback and get their first win of the season. And that first win didn't come against the Cardinals, and it didn't help that their starting quarterback Ryan Carroll wasn't able to take the field after suffering from a possible concussion week 4 that sidelined him. Now, Carroll said he was happy to contribute, even though he was wearing a headset instead of a helmet.
I was doing my best to help out our QB, Nathan Gottlieb. And him stepping up, that was in a big role on this Friday Night Lights. First career start, that's a pretty big step up for him, and I was just trying to give him all the best knowledge I know of the game.
Carroll is expected to play in the league opener against Compton Centennial, which should help the team get back in its routine and hopefully onto a winning track.
We start our league next week, and that's the most important thing, is to have him healthy for league.
The Tartars are going to need him after losing by almost 50 points, and in spite of being 0-5, the team insists that they're positive about the future and look at each week as a fresh start.
We know what we have, and we know what we have to do, and we know that once we get to our league, we've got a different shot at this whole thing.
We're going in new season, thinking of it as a new season, thinking of it nothing less, just go out there, do what we need to do, and try to get a win.
With the Sports Desk, I'm Anna Dominguez.
Thanks, Anna. Torrance finished the 2015 season with a 3-7 record. With 3 of their final 5 games at home, the Tartars are in a strong position to make some noise as they hit the backside of the season. Now, another team gearing up for league, the West Warriors. After winning the first 2 games of the season, the Warriors lost 2 in a row. Could they get back to their winning ways against Carson? Yes, they could. Carson did not make it easy, though. After pulling within 3 points with just 2 minutes to go in the game, Carson recovered an onside kick that gave them a chance to win the game. With the ball on the 2-yard line, Carson tried a quarterback sneak, but the snap was fumbled, and the West Warriors recovered it to preserve the win. West starting quarterback Drake Peabody left the game in the second quarter after throwing 1 touchdown. Max Parrish filled in nicely as he helped lead the way with 2 scores himself. Now, as everyone is ready for league play, here's a look at what we have going on in the Pioneer League. North, Lusinger, and West all have 3 wins on the season. South has 2 wins, but while Centennial and Torrance, they have not won a game yet. But like we said earlier, it doesn't matter what has happened thus far. It's like a new season has begun, and everyone has a chance. Coming up on the Sports Desk, which team will outrun its competition? See the results of this year's SouthBay cross-country meet. Plus, can the El Camino Warriors outrun the Renegades? See all the scores and highlights when we get back.
When the earth shakes, the ground moves, and things start to fall, you'll ask yourself, how prepared or unprepared are you? Have you removed objects from over the bed and over your head? Anchored your possessions securely to the wall. It won't be a pain, and you're not doing it in vain. Are your emergency kits packed? What about your family, your friends? Did they know what to do, how to get in touch, and where to meet? Do you know how to drop, cover, and hold on, covering your head and neck? What if you're outside? Or in a car? After the shaking stops, look around. Figure out what to do. Stay away from damaged areas. Turn on a radio. Reach out for help. And if you're trapped, do not move about. Stay calm. Only shout as a last resort. Once everything and everyone is safe, get prepared. An aftershock could be on its way. So before the earth shakes, the ground moves, and things start to fall, get prepared. Make a plan. Practice what you know, because an earthquake can happen anytime, anywhere. You never know. America's Prepare-a-thon. Be smart. Take part. Prepare.
Welcome back to the Sports Desk. Did you happen to see the great performance by the Bishop Montgomery cheer squad during homecoming? Well, you would have if you followed me on Instagram and Twitter. That's at Byron Newsome TV. See what happens as it happens. You don't want to be the only one missing out. And one thing I did not want to miss out on was this year's cross-country SouthBay Cup competition. 9 schools competed in this year's race. The competition was a 3-mile test of stamina and speed. The boys and girls varsity teams competed along with the JV, sophomore, and freshman teams. West Torrance won first place in team in both the boys and girls varsity. The freshman and sophomore boys won first in team as well. Now here is a look at the top teams and runners from this year's SouthBay Cup race. West in the first spot with Torrance finishing second. Anthony, Cavuati, Tyler Strong, and Manny Gill finishing 1, 2, and 3. We have West and Torrance taking the top 2 spots in girls varsity as well. Julia Lopez and Kylie Jaquez take the number 1 and number 2 positions in this one. In the boys junior varsity division, Redondo Union came in first place. North and West were right behind in second and third place. The girls JV had Miracosta and Redondo Union in the top 2 spots, with Torrance and North finishing at 3 and number 4. It was West, North, South, and Torrance in the boys sophomore division. West Torrance, South Torrance finished in 3rd and 4th place in the freshman girls division. While West Torrance took the first spot and South Torrance took the 4th in the freshman boys race. Local volleyball action is in its stretch run, and everybody's trying to dig out some wins and win their league. The Bishop Montgomery Knights are one of the toughest teams in the area with a 16-3 season record and 2-0 in league play. The Knights sit atop the Del Rey League, and they haven't lost a match since September the 8th. Now in Pioneer League play, we've got South, North, Torrance, and West. While South looks primed for another league title, league play is what matters. And at this point, it's anyone's league to win. Can't wait to see how this one plays out. Coming up next on the Sports Desk, the Elko Warriors soccer team looks to keep on kicking as they put their undefeated record on the line. And can the Warriors football team bounce back after 2 losses in a row? See all the action when we come back.
Managing your energy bill is all about control. Knowing the difference between the 2 kinds of rate plans that Southern California Edison is offering is the key to unlocking that control. To pick the best option for you, it's important to know that one kind of plan is about how much electricity you use, and the others are about how much and when you use it. My job requires me to work from home, so avoiding electricity use during the daytime is not in the cards. That's why it made sense to stick with the standard residential rate plan, which is a tiered rate plan. The tiered rate plan starts over every billing period and begins at the first tier. The first tier covers the essentials, like lighting, cooking, heating, and refrigeration. Once you exceed the energy allocated for Tier 1, you move to the next higher tier, which has a higher rate. This makes it easier to manage how much energy we're using on a monthly basis. And there are great tools to help us conserve or cut back if needed, to avoid getting into the next tier where the rates are higher.
My days are a little different. You see, I'm out the door by 8 a.m. and I don't get home until 6. And that's on a good traffic day.
Before I leave, I make sure everything is off.
Except for a fan that I keep on for Rambo. A time of use rate plan works for me because I don't use a lot of electricity during the weekday afternoons and early evenings, the time of day when electricity costs are the highest. I can put off using any appliances until after those times or until the weekend. I have flexibility because I can choose when I use.
Understanding just how much and when you use electricity
is the first step to taking control of your energy bill and finding the rate plan that works best for you.
We are back. Make sure you catch me on Instagram and Twitter. That's at Byron Newsome TV. Find out what's happening. Let me know what's happening, and we can make it happen right here on the Sports Desk. Now, our El Camino Warriors recently faced off against Bakersfield. And if I told you Elko had more first downs, more yards, they had the ball almost 10 minutes longer and over 300 yards rushing, what do you think would be the outcome? I guarantee you it's not what you think. El Camino and Bakersfield, both teams averaging over 30 points a game. This should be a good one. Donovan Davis making a few people miss as he gets 12 yards down to the Elko 31-yard line. On the next play, David Seals play action, and he throws it downfield. John L. Jackson, this is the stuff that we want. This is the stuff that we need. Elko takes the lead 7-0 on a 66-yard touchdown play. Now on 3rd and 8. Yeah, Bakersfield, Dalton Gallis to Jasmine Thin. 34-yard gain down to the 1-yard line. It is 1st and goal. First play, they hand it to Ferguson Ayers. It is a 1-yard touchdown. It is a tie game, 7 apiece. Then in the second quarter, 2nd and goal, Derek Vickers. Remember this man's name. Derek Vickers, 4-yard touchdown. Bakersfield is up 14-7. Still in the second, Dalton Gallis. No, I told you to remember his name, right? Derek Vickers makes a man miss. He looks like he might take it to the house. But my boy, Jamar McDaniel, catches him. 1st and 10 at Elko's 7-yard line. Next play, Lamicio Hill, touchdown. Bakersfield leads 21-7. Now Elko has the ball deep in Renegade territory. David Seals to Mason Mulvihill. He makes a man miss, and he walks down that sideline. After a missed field goal. They are down 21-13, 21-16. Elko trails when Hill to Thine to Gallis to Derek Vickers is wide open. He almost walks it in. 33 yards, 28-16. Bakersfield leads on a 13-play drive. David Seals moves around. Trayvon Dean touchdown. It is a 5-point game, 28-23. Down 35-23 in the fourth quarter. David Seals finds his option, and he goes all the way in for a touchdown. It is 35-30. It is a 35-30 ball game, ladies and gentlemen. David Seals scored this touchdown. He's the quarterback. He can also kick. Watch this. An onside kick by David Seals. It goes through Vickers' hand. And yes, Chad Washington with the recovery at the 50-yard line. A few plays later, ladies and gentlemen, it is 47 seconds left in this ball game. Seals is the quarterback. He goes, he pumps, moves around. Zaire Andre all the way up, and he comes down with it. Touchdown. Elko leads for the first time since the first quarter. They are up 36-35. 1 point. So they want to go for 2 so this can be a 3-point game. Akalano, Tafamima, Longji to Daniel McGann. Good. Elko 38-35 with 39 seconds to go in the game. It's over, right? It is over. No. Gallis. This man is open again to Vickers. He goes all the way down to the 2-yard line. 6 seconds left. 6 seconds in this ball game. Bakersfield trails, but they give it to Vickers. He scores. It is 42-38. Bakersfield leads, and they win this thriller by the score 42-38. David Seals accounted for 4 touchdowns on the night. He also kicked 2 field goals and an extra point. John L. Jackson and Donovan Davis both had over 100 yards on the ground for the Warriors. The next home game for El Camino will be on October 22nd against Mount San Antonio. Also in action was the El Camino College men's and women's soccer teams. Now, while the men's team is struggling, the women's team has not lost a game yet. And as Julie Villanova reports, both teams feel they are right where they need to be at this point in the season.
In the early going, off the Compton turnover, Kaylin Kamerly goes down the field for a solo shot on the goalie. Warriors take the lead. Elko Warriors up big heading into the half. Senior Kaylin Kamerly scored 1 of the 2 goals for the Warriors. Early in the second half, the Warriors putting pressure on Compton in the box. Kelsey Orsith taps it up to game-leading scorer Kaylin Kamerly for her 3rd goal of the game. Warriors now take the lead 7-0. Warriors charging on goal, Christine Neji to Catherine Wilson in the corner, who kicks it across goal to find Jody Brennan, who scores on the bounce off Compton defender. Compton still scoreless and really feeling down. And just for good measure, Jody Brennan heading down south takes a shot to the top right corner and in for her 2nd goal of the game. Warriors sophomore Kaylin Kamerly came into the game confident, but this just proved that they have potential and now they need to keep on executing.
It felt really good to score goals, last season I could not finish whatsoever, I missed every single, probably like 95% of the opportunities I got, and just like getting my confidence back and like getting our team's confidence back is just, it's really nice to have.
The team is not done yet. They see they have the skills to shut out teams, so working on their team relationships off the field should help them continue success on the field.
You know, I think communication is really big, and our team chemistry is really huge for us this season.
Like Kaylin said, chemistry for sure. We want to be like close because it definitely shows on the field, the chemistry, and just working on, you know, our talking, passing, and working on each position individually and working together.
Women's Warriors soccer shut out Compton College 9-0. Now moving on to the men's team.
Our goal is to win conference this year and make playoffs. We started off bad, but I feel like we can turn it around and really push forward and win this conference.
The men's team has high expectations as well, but coming into their first conference game, they have not yet won a match. Starting in the second half, scoreless, freshman Maziki Kishimoto takes a shot on goal, and it's good. Warriors celebrate, and they take the lead 1-0. But not for long, defense was slacking, and Compton College answered with a goal. The game ended in a tie. The Warriors men know they need to work on some skills to overcome tough teams, but as of now, they are seeing some improvement.
I see that all the time, yeah. Every single game, I feel like we're getting more confident with each other.
Win or lose, Warriors men's and women's soccer have high expectations for their upcoming season. Reporting from Murdoch Stadium, Julie Villanova with the Sports Desk.
Hey, thanks for that story, Julie. Later in the week, the women's team had a close call, but they still didn't lose, hanging on for a 2-2 tie against Long Beach, while the fellas lost to Long Beach 5-0. Now, keeping things Elko, the women's volleyball team was in action last week as well, taking on LA Harbor. The ladies made this one look easy. Taylor Bryden and Jalen Motley led the way as Elko beat LA Harbor 3-0, giving up 20, 11, and 22 in straight sets. Now, we have come to the end of our show, and as you see, I have on pink. It's in observance of the National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Every year in the United States, more than 200,000 women are diagnosed with breast cancer, and over 40,000 women die from the disease every year. And even though it's not as common, men can be diagnosed with breast cancer as well. Talk to your doctors, schedule your mammograms so you can catch it early and be treated. Torrance, make sure you tune in next time. We have got the Torrance sports scene on lock from the little kids all the way up to the big kids. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And don't forget to sprinkle your school spirit my way, and I'll get you on the show. That is it for the Sports Desk. I'm your host, Byron Newsome. Keep rising to the top, Torrance. We'll see you next time.